A very good evening and welcome to State of Business, our television's primetime news bulletin. I'm Madhusha Palakumar. Let's take a look at tonight's headlines first. National Economic Council held under the patronage of President Maithripala Sirisena. 7th UNESCO APEID meeting on entrepreneurship education to be held from 9 to 11th of October.
This event is focusing on education and skilling of entrepreneurs and SMEs.
Now the stories in detail. The National Economic Council meeting was held under the patronage of President Maithripala Sirisena at the Presidential Secretariat yesterday with the participation of officials from both public and private sectors, intellectuals as well as vice-chancellors of universities. The meeting was also attended by the representatives of Board of Investment of Sri Lanka, Export Development Board and the heads of all leading key chambers, the Central Bank, state banks and private banks. During the meeting, special attention was drawn to the promotion of Sri Lanka's export sector and preventing the devaluation of the rupee. The steps that have been taken by the central bank to control the depreciation of the rupee were appraised in detail during the meeting. The central bank explained that the depreciation of the rupee was due to external factors and stated several countries including India, Pakistan, Malaysia and Indonesia have also faced this prevailing condition. A special press conference on the 7th UNESCO Asian Programme of Educational Innovation for Development meeting on entrepreneurship education was held at the Ministry of Industry and Commerce this morning. The meeting will take place from 9th to 11th of October, making Sri Lanka the first South Asian country to host a UNESCO APEID meeting.
This event is focusing on education and skilling of entrepreneurs and SMEs with input from visiting SME stakeholders from 21 countries. This is the first such international education event for entrepreneurs being held in South Asia. In fact, this event shall bring global recognition to our SME and entrepreneur sectors that play a very important role in our GDP. There are little more than 1 million registered SMEs and MSMEs in Sri Lanka. Each provides employment to 3 people on average, especially in rural areas. We believe that SMEs are more than 70% of the total number of enterprises in the economy, providing 45% of the employment and contributing to 52% of the gross domestic production as GDP. Despite these sectors acting as the growth driver of our GDP and are playing a very important role in employment and labor force, we find few opportunities for them to develop their education and capacities. If we are to continue to sustain their contribution to our economy, we need to upgrade their capacities and support them to move forward and develop. UN supported events such as the 7th UNESCO APEID meeting on entrepreneur education that we are announcing today can open many new doors of opportunities for our SMEs and entrepreneurs who are keen to link with export and the global marketplace.
Addressing the media during the event, Chairman of the National Enterprise Development Agency, Dakshita Bogol Lagama, noted that changes are necessary in the education system to keep up with the demands of the job market.
The NEDA was created in order to provide the facilitation for local entrepreneurs, both in terms of reaching local markets and reaching international markets as well. In this country, as the Honorable Minister also mentioned, only about 16% of the population has the chance of getting into university. The rest of the 85%, unless they get into private sector schools, cannot afford private education. So this conference will have a very important effect in terms of changing the education system in terms of entrepreneurship education. Because every child, every student has unique talents. And as the Honorable Minister also mentioned, the education system here is very knowledge-based and less execution-based. If I can mention a few points, changes are necessary in the education system in keeping with demands of the job market. Many schools, they implement quota systems based on religion. 90% of the places would go to children of a particular religion, while other 10% is allocated to others. The need to help arrest the declining standards of English. In recent years, the levels of English fluency among the members of Sri Lankan academic community and among members of the public service has deteriorated. Due to ultra-nationalistic political forces, English was abandoned instead of being retained while encouraging vernacular languages. While 250,000 students sit for advanced level examination every year, fewer than 16% who qualify get admission to state universities. More than 1/3 of all graduates who come out of national universities each year are arts and humanities. Less than 10% of schools across the island offer advanced level curriculum on all 4 streams of education system. Sri Lanka's education system is quite bent towards memorization and standardized testing rather than practical education and creative analytical thinking. A culture of developed practical workplace experience in real world at an early stage in education by encouraging students in secondary college to pursue internships and work experience in their areas of employment interest. The main concept in entrepreneurship development, and especially the reason for this conference being held, is the fact that the international community has a policy-making initiative in having a conference in understanding where the international policies have gone and updating international policies on education.
Let's take a look at more news after this short break. Welcome back. The Tourism Leaders Summit and the International Tourism Research Conference was inaugurated in Colombo today.
The 2-day summit and International Research Symposium is organized by the Alumni Association of Tourism, Economics and Hospitality Management, together with the Department of Economics at the University of Colombo and the Ministry of Tourism Development. This year, the conference is being held under the theme Integration of Global Value Chains for Sustainable Tourism Development, Inclusiveness, Competition and Innovation. The conference will provide threefold opportunities to participants to obtain application-oriented knowledge, industry-driven experiences and synergized research findings with industry requirements. Furthermore, best practices of successful stories in global tourism development and critical challenges in implementing sustainable and inclusive tourism development will be discussed at the conference. Meanwhile, speaking at the event, the conference chair Dr. Suranga Silva made the following remarks.
We know that global tourism has become one of the most important industry for the whole world. It has accounted more than 10% of GDP, same time 9% of world employment. In parallel to global scenarios, Sri Lanka tourism has also become one of the most decisive economic contributor for socio-economic development of the country. Despite of such phenomenal contribution and remarkable growth of the country, the present tourism strategic plan 2017 and 2020 of Sri Lanka tourism, developed by the Ministry of Tourism Development and Christian Religious Affairs, has recognized Sri Lanka as a story of untapped potential, especially when considering the ongoing tourism development in Sri Lanka. So that is why we have selected the theme Integration of Global Value Chain for Sustainable Tourism Development, especially inclusiveness, competitions and innovations.
Gamata Technology, an accelerator platform initiated by youth tech entrepreneurs covering every corner of Sri Lanka, was launched by UN SDG Action Award winner 2018 Dr. Ashan Pereira in Colombo last evening. Gamata Technology will embark on 14th of October with the presence of young entrepreneurs, leading tech companies, renowned personalities and locals covering 19 districts over Sri Lanka.
Gamata Tech is an independent national initiative collaborating with the Road to Rights youth-led organization and Mituru Mituro movement supported by bannercuts.com. The platform is aimed at supporting technology experts and youth entrepreneurs in rural areas who lack opportunities to work within an entrepreneurial environment that encourages collaboration, fosters job creation and provides connections to local and international resources.
Gamata Technology is an accelerator which supports young entrepreneurs, social entrepreneurs and technology experts in rural communities to find out their best out of what they can do and also find the correct connection, capacities and education to make an impact to the grassroots communities. So we have developed the platform Gamata Technology to bring the best education, expertise to the grassroots level where we can find the correct young people, correct entrepreneurs within their own respective communities. We are expecting to identify the social entrepreneurs and empower them, support them, and at the end of the day, recognize their efforts to the community. So this will be a national level initiative where we will be launching the event on 14th of October at Nelum Pakuna Theatre at 4 p.m. After launching the national initiative, we will be carrying out programs in all 25 districts in Sri Lanka, where we will be having national level, district level forums in each and every respective district, where we will be also finding outstanding young individuals in those 25 districts, bringing those young people to the national level platform in next year.
Let's see how the stocks performed after this short break. Welcome back. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a positive note today. The all-share price index gained 21.77 points to close at 5,835.60, and the S&P/SL 20 gained 9.06 points to close at 2,978.66. The turnover was 319 million rupees and 11 million shares were traded. Next is Forex rates. With that, we are wrapping up State of Business for the day. We'll meet you tomorrow at the same time with more news. Until then, take care. Good night.